What is up, everybody, and welcome to my first match for playoffs for Season 3 of the PPFC. That's right, folks, in case you missed the last video. We did it. We made it to playoffs by a hair, by a slim thread. And here we got the first match of playoffs. So yeah, hope you guys are excited for this. I'm really excited that we did make it to playoffs, and yeah, let's see if we can't win this whole season. But yeah, so the way that playoffs work, okay, so I should probably explain this. So the way our draft was set up, right? We had different divisions to organize people into, because we have a lot of people. So basically, there are 3 divisions, but 2 of them, Alpha and Banana, basically the top 4 people from each division would all go to the same playoffs. So the way the seeding worked is for first round of playoffs, it would always be someone from Alpha against someone versus Banana. So for my first match, I'm fighting none other than the top seed of Alpha Division, who is Tocid, who I've fought previously in the March Madness, and well, it was kind of a a commanding victory on my part, I'd say. If you guys were there and saw that, you probably weren't, but anywho, so yes, Tocid, I knew he was a bit intimidated going into this match, but I didn't think I could go easy on him that much, because he does have a very scary team, so I had to come prepared nonetheless. But yeah, if you guys enjoy and are excited, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff as always, and let us go ahead and talk about the team now, shall we? So I'll be honest, I didn't feel like calcing that much for this match, just because, for one thing, I didn't feel like it was that necessary, but also kind of didn't have the time and just kind of want to get it over with. So nothing too crazy, at least as far as the EVs go, but nonetheless, first and foremost, our star player here, folks, is none other than the Scarf Regieleki. Now, I know some of you are looking here and thinking, Sean, what has gotten into you? What are you on? Why did you put a choice scarf on the fastest Pokemon in the game? Well, I'll tell you why I did that. It's because of one reason, and his name is Iron Bundle, who just so happens to be on Tocid's team. Is his most valuable Pokemon in terms of points and in terms of performance, because that thing has done insane numbers. So I knew going into this, my main objective, above all else, I was like, I cannot let Iron Bundle sweep me. I cannot let that happen, because I've seen that thing destroy people far too many times, and I was determined to not suffer the same fate. So that's why we got the Scarf Regieleki to always outspeed it, guaranteed, no matter what. Even if it does have the booster energy with the speed boost, Lecky will still always be faster than it, which is sick, because then I can just go for a T-Bolt and get the one shot on it, guaranteed. So that's beautiful. Then of course we also just got the Volt Switch for pivoting, always nice. Rapid Spin, because he is my hazard remover this match. And then Explosion last, which isn't like that important. It's just kind of there for, like, if I really needed to, like, say Bundle was already gone, if I needed to get Chip on something like Hippowdon, for instance, on his team, or just anything that he has that is an electric switch in, I could just go for Explosion and hopefully do some Chip, but it's not really, it's kind of a filler move slot, honestly. And for EVs, we just got max special attack, do as much damage with T-Bolt as possible, with the quiet nature, which is funny, because I didn't want to go modest, because I didn't want to weaken Explosion, still wanted it to do, like, decent damage if I went for it. But I did the calcs, and I was like, if I invest in a little bit of speed, even if I'm minus speed nature, I'll still be faster than the Bundle, which is sick. So I just needed to hit 409, because Bundle maxes out at 408, so I figured let's go with that, and then just dump the rest in the HP, just to take a few extra hits maybe, and that's basically the set. Next we got Pex, Rihanna back, who serves a very critical role on this team, because Tocid has two very scary fighting types on his team. He has Galarian Zapdos and Lycanroc Dusk. And those are both mons that my team doesn't particularly appreciate. However, I do have Pex, who's probably my best answer for it. While it does not resist either rock or flying, it does resist fighting, which both those Pokemon do love to go for the fighting moves, so I figured Pex would be very nice for that, just as a switch-in, and should hopefully at least be able to take the rock and fighting moves, or flying moves, excuse me, at least decent. Didn't really have a better option, so wasn't much a choice there, but yes, we are just running the max HP, max defense, just because I need this thing to be as bulky as possible, take as many hits as it can, and then, yeah, because the Zapdos and the Lycanroc, very strong and very scary, so we had to, I didn't really see a need, like, I think I kind of had to just go max, I felt like, just because, like, Banded Zapdos still had a chance to two-shot with Brave Bird, so I was like, okay, probably should have all the bulk possible, so yeah. We do have the Rocky Helmet, though, to hopefully try to get some chip on those mons, particularly Zapdos. It's very helpful, because if he does go for Brave Bird, then he's taking Brave Bird recoil on top of the Rocky Helmet damage, so that's sick. Regenerator, as always, of course. Recover to heal back up, obviously. Haze is mainly just in case they try to set up in front of Pex, which would be not ideal, but we have the Haze to stop that, so if Lycanroc wants to SD, or even like Zapdos going for bulk ups, or for a Thunderous Kick to try to lower my defense, I could just Haze in, get rid of all that stuff, which is sick. Ice Spinner here to hit the Zapdos as hard as I can, still doesn't do that much, but it is super effective, and on top of the Rocky Helmet, and potentially Brave Bird recoil, and maybe some Rocks damage as well, should still do enough damage. And then Liquidation for the Lycanroc, which does a good bit. It's a guaranteed two-shot, I'm pretty sure, so that's nice. And yeah, that's pretty much the set there. Next we got Lil Wayne back, the Heatran, who is just running a pretty standard, especially defensive set. I know it's not the most creative thing out there, but I figured it was really, really good this match, because it lets Heatran switch in very freely into stuff like Armor Rouge and Dragalge that he has on his team. Not to mention just having a bulky set in general is nice, because he has other mounts like Fortress and Rillaboom that Heatran wouldn't mind switching into some of the time. So I figured bulky Heatran was definitely the play here. Just got the lefties for recovery. Flash Fire, of course, so I can be immune to the fire moves from stuff like Armor Rouge, so I can switch in easier. Lava Plume just for the fire stab, but also the chance to burn is really, really nice. It's got a lot of scary physical attackers. Also low kicks on his team, which I forgot to mention. He has low kicks as a Terra Captain, which is crazy. So Heatran could also be a switch into that if I needed to. Does quad resist bug, which is nice. And yeah, Lava Plume just nice for nice stab, chance to burn. Earth Power for stuff that would resist the Lava Plume. So that's stuff like Armor Rouge. The Dragalge, that's really important that I'm able to hit those two, but it's also nice for the Lycanroc, and yeah, just nice combo in general. We got the Rocks, of course, because you always got to have Rocks, and Heatran is my rocker, as you can see. It's the only mon here that can learn it. And then last is Protect, which I figured would be nice, for one, to have extra lefties recovery, which would be especially nice if he did bring the Rillaboom, because that means there would be a chance that the terrain would be up, so I would be getting even more recovery, which would be dope. But also I just thought it'd be nice to try to scout what moves he wants to go for, so yeah, and that's the set there. Next we got Nicki Minaj back again, as always, with the Choice Spec set this time around, because I looked at his team and I was like, wow, he has no good fairy resist, and like even the ones that he does have, they don't appreciate switching into a Specs Moonblast, so yeah, I'm pretty sure two-shots almost everything on his team, 2 Specs Moonblasts, which is very, very sick. And yeah, even the stuff that does resist, like Armor Rouge or Fortress, really don't want to switch into it. So that's wonderful. I knew that would be phenomenal for this match. And then yeah, it's mainly here just for the Moonblast spam, but also have the Earth Power in case, could click it on the Armor Rouge or whatever, just in case, if I wanted to predict. Also the Mystical Fire for Fortress, and then Healing Wish is there, just as kind of another filler move slot, just in case, like, okay, because I didn't know what else to put, so I was like, okay, maybe this will be useful if I want to heal someone up if they're weak. But honestly, the main plan with Enamorus was always just click Moonblast and hopefully kill something. So yeah, that was that. Got just enough speed to outspeed Galarian Zapdos, and then just max special attack, rest in defense to try to eat hits from stuff like Rillaboom or low kicks if necessary. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we got Kendrick, the Salamence, back again with the Dragon Dance set, because I looked at his team and I was like, ooh, flying plus ground coverage is really, really good into his team. So we could maybe do something with the Salamence here. So we do have that, the Dual Wing Beat EQ combo, and then Flamethrower just there for the Fortress, basically because it's a physical wall that Mence does not appreciate, but Flamethrower can easily deal with it. Got the Boots just to switch in easier, don't have to worry about the rocks. Intimidate also helps for just lowering things attack, because again, he does have a lot of scary physical attackers, so we can just intimidate those, and gives Mence an easier time to set up D-Dances. And then the spread is pretty typical. I decided to go max speed just because, like, I figured it could be nice potentially speed tying Galarian Zapdos if it had to come down to that. I figured, hey, that might be worth it to try to win the speed tie there. So I figured, why not? We can just go max speed. And then we got max attack, obviously, just to do as much damage as possible. And I just put the 4 into special attacks. So I was like, why not? Maybe Flamethrower does a little bit more. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. Just try to sweep with Mence is the idea with this set. And last but not least, we have Trinidad James the Grumpig back again. Surprisingly, because I was looking at the team and I was like, okay, again, obviously, scariest threat is the bundle. While Aleki can switch in and kill it if I need to, I don't really have a mon that can take a hit from bundle, right? It still kind of goobs my whole team with like Hydro plus Freeze Dry. So I was like, do I have any good bundle switching? And then I thought about it. I was like, well, I do have Grumpig, who, I mean, not the best mon out there, but he does have the Thick Vat, so it will at least resist the ice moves, and with like Back's special defense investment, takes Hydro Pumps like decently well. If he specs, Hydro still has a chance to two-shot, but yeah, I figured why not? Grumpig, I didn't really know who else to have for a 16 member, so I was like, hey, Grumpig, if you can take some hits, then why not? So we do just have Thick Fat, Terra Dark. Just I figured if I wanted to, for the Armor Rouge, could be nice, because this thing's also a good switch into that. So I could just turn to a Dark type if I wanted to, and just be immune to Psychic, which is very, very cool. And then we just got Power Gem, which is here mainly to hit the Iron Bundle, super effective, but could also hit the Armor Rouge, which is nice. Psyshock can hit the Dragalge hard for super effective damage. And this thing could also be a nice switch in for that if I needed to. And then Terra Blast is just like, if I need Dark Stab, if I turn to a Dark type, then hey, could be useful. Then we got Protect Last, for kind of similar reasons as Heatran. But I also figured, because I did the calcs, right, for one thing, Specs Hydro does have a chance to two-shot, but after lefties, if I Protect in between turns, then I should get enough lefties recovery to where it's not a guaranteed two-shot, which is nice. But I also thought, if worst came to worst, I do not have, like, not a lot of mons that can switch into Hydro Pump, but I do have this guy and this guy that can switch into ice moves just fine. So I thought if it had to come down to it, maybe I could try to just like protect stall him out of Hydro Pumps with like these guys, and then at that point the ice moves wouldn't do anything, which is a very it's like a very like desperate measure, but I figured could be useful, just to because he only has 8 Hydro Pumps, so maybe plus he has a chance to miss them. But yeah, I figured maybe that'd be useful, but it's mainly here just for extra leftovers and the scouting potential. So yeah, that is pretty much the team there. So now let us get right into the match, shall we? So right at team preview, I see the bundle, which was not a surprise because I knew that thing was coming for sure. But then I was looking at his team, and he brought a pretty bulky build. He's got Hippo, Fortress, the Dockspun. He's got quite a bit of fat because I was more so trying to prep for his offensive threats, right? Rillaboom, low kicks, Zapdos G. Got a lot of hard hitters, but he brought a lot of bulky mons, which was I knew when I saw this team preview, I kind of had to be a little concerned about it because of I don't have a ton of offensive power. It's mainly just Enamorus and Salamence. And I mean, I like he can dish out some hits, but it's not gonna like break through these guys, So I knew these two had to do some work in this match to make something happen. That was very, very important. Couldn't just let his wall sit in front of me. But yes, going off that logic, I do decide to lead with my Enamorus because I figured, okay, Specs Moonblast is just like does a lot of damage again, should two-shot everything. He could have led with Lycanroc or even Bundle, which are both faster than Enamorus and can threaten the one-shot. But if it came down to that, I could have swapped the Pex on the Lycanroc or to Grumpig on the Bundle, if it had to. So not the worst thing ever. But he does end up leading with this Fortress, which I guess isn't that surprising to lead, but it does put me in an awkward spot here because I can't just click Moonblast or even Mystical Fire for free because of course he has the Sturdy. So I decided it's not worth it to try to stay in on this thing because I'm afraid of a Gyro Ball just one-shotting my Enamorus. So I decided to go hard out to Heatran, figuring I could take any hit besides like a Body Press, I guess, but I doubted he was going to go for a Body Press on an Enamorus, as he just decided to get his rocks up. So I actually could have stayed in there and just two-shot him, which is just a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I didn't want to risk a Gyro Ball, so I still thought that was a fair play. But regardless, now he's going to switch out, obviously, because he's scared of a Heatran, as I'm just going to get at my own rocks, because I figured may as well be very, very nice, especially if he has Sash on anything, like particularly that Iron Bundle. If it was Sash, would not be a fun time, so rocks are good for that, and also for breaking that Fortress's Sturdy if it decides to come back in. But it does just hard swap into Dockspun, probably expecting the Fire move, because it does have well-baked body, but I just go for the rocks. But I decided to switch here into Pex, because Pex is a great switch into this thing. I didn't want to stay in just in case, like, Body Press, because that would hurt Heatran, obviously, so I figured Pex. Fine switch in here, as he just decides to go for Yawn, which is interesting, and also annoying, because it means I can't stay in on this thing. Fortunately, it's not like too big a deal. I can just kind of switch around for the moment, as he decides to double out to his Fortress, as I double out to Heatran, on a potential play rough. But can see here that his Fortress is actually boots, because it takes no rocks damage, which is kind of crazy. But yes, so I switch in and take rocks damage, and obviously he's going to switch out again, because he doesn't want to leave Fortress in against this thing, as I believe I just click the Earth Power, or no, I click Protect to try to scout what happens, but I think now I'm going to click Earth Power just to get some chip on this thing. At this point, not even sure if it has Body Press, if it can do something to me. I just figured, hey, chip could be nice, potentially. I do get the Spadef drop, which is sick, as he roars me out into a Lecky. So this is interesting. Not what I expected, but yeah, so a Lucky out is not great, because I kind of need to save this thing for Bundle. And he does still have Hippowdon, which does just like sit in front of it. I could have tried a Rapid Spin here if I wanted to, but I really didn't want to risk it, because like I needed a Lucky to stop the Bundle sweep. So I didn't want to stay in and like risk, like Play Rough or Body Press doing a lot of damage. I just needed to preserve a Lecky at all costs, so I decided not to go for the spin. I'm just gonna switch out, not even go for Volt Switch in case he goes Hippowdon, as I bring in Mence. I don't remember why I went to Mence specifically. I guess try to do damage. I don't know. But he does just click Yawn again, which is like, okay. Just gotta keep switching around, which is annoying. So at this point I'm like, okay, screw it, I'm tired. I wanna do some damage, I wanna threaten something. So I just decided to go hard out into Enamorus on the rocks, which does, does suck taking that damage, but I figured, I probably wasn't gonna go for Roar again after he just yawned my Mence, because if he roared me out, then it wouldn't go to sleep. So I figured I could get a safe swap into Enamorus here and just start clicking buttons, as he does go for Play Rough, which does a little bit more than I would like. Enamorus is already pretty low, which isn't great, especially with the rocks up, but I at least have it in now, and I can just click Moonblast and start killing stuff. As he goes Fortress, and Moonblast does over half, which is beautiful. This is exactly why I brought Enamorus to this match, to just spam Moonblast on everything and just do a ton of damage. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, another Moonblast and Fortress just goes down, which is wonderful for me. As now he goes out to his Lycanroc, and obviously I can't stay in here because this thing can destroy me. But fortunately I do have Pex. That's exactly what Pex is here for. As out comes the Accelerock, does a good amount of damage, but it does take the Rocky Helmet chip, which is always nice. And now he's just going to switch right out to his Hippowdon, as I just click Liquidation, trying to get damage on the Lycanroc, but also, some damage on Hippowdon also works. Doesn't do a ton, but hey, we take those. So now I'm like, okay, Hippo's so annoying for my team. I need to get rid of this thing because, first of all, a lot of my guys are ground weak, which is not great, but also it's just, as long as Hippo's here, it can just sit in front of a Lecky, so I can't have that. So at this point I'm like, okay, I think I just gotta go to Mence and hope I can just try to break through this thing, right? Because I don't want to just go right out to, I don't want to hard swap to Enamorus in this scenario, because obviously the rocks are up and I can't live rocks plus another hit like Stone Edge or something, or if he goes for Yawn and forces me to switch, that's not good. So I didn't want to just hard bring in Enamorus. I needed a safe swap for that thing. So I figured Mence is my best bet, because I can bring it in, get the Intimidate. I have Boots, so I don't have to worry about the rocks, but still I was afraid of a Whirlwind or a Yawn or Toxic even. I actually don't remember if Hippo still has Toxic, but anywho, any of those things would be bad for Mence, because that stops my setup. But also, if he has Stone Edge or something, that would hurt Mence. So not a great option, but I didn't really know what else to do. Honestly, I just needed to try to get damage off on this thing. So he's just gonna click Slack off this turn, which is whatever, it's fine. Yeah, he's back to full, but at least they didn't threaten me at all. So now I'm just gonna start D-dancing, just try to get my attack up, try to break through this thing, as he clicks Curse. And at this point I was like, oh no, this is bad, this is extremely bad. So yeah, very not good, because again, Hippo kind of scary for my team in general, but also now that this thing's setting up in front of my face, I'm like, oh no, that's not good. Not to mention he's raising his defense too, so that means Mence is going to do less damage to this thing than it would. Also raising his attack after the Intimidate drop, which is not fun. So this is a bad spot for me, I'd say. I was kind of freaking out when this thing started to curse up, but I figured I kind of have to D-dance again, because I need more boost to try to break through this Hippo. And I did the calc, and I don't think Stone Edge had a chance to kill until he was +1 attack, if he did have the Stone Edge. So I was like, okay, I think I should be able to get another D-dance off here, get more boost, as it just clicks Curse again, which isn't great, but at least I'm matching his defense boost with my own attack boost. So here I just click Dual Wing Beak, so I was like, I just need damage off on this thing as much as I can, as it doesn't do that much. unfortunately, as he does just go for the Stone Edge this turn, and it does get the kill. So that is very unfortunate. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, I have one hope here. It's that I go out into Enamorus, and that I hope and pray that Specs Moonblast will get the kill here. Because if it doesn't kill, then I'm kind of boned. Honestly, this thing just kind of wrecks my team. So this is all on Enamorus. I just had to hope if it at least didn't get the one shot, at least put him in range of something else on my team. Was kind of the point here. So do go for the Moonblast, and thankfully it does kill this Hippowdon, which is beautiful. Apparently that was a roll. I think he told me after the match, like, because of his set, I think that was like 25% chance to get the kill there, which is crazy, and that was extremely lucky of me to get the kill there with that roll. So shout out to Enamorus for holding it down. But I suppose even if I didn't get the roll for the one shot there, still would have put him pretty low, and hopefully I could have killed it with something else, maybe like Lava Plume from Heatran or something. But yeah, that was still very fortunate for me. Got me out of that sticky situation. So now, like, okay, Hippowdon's gone. That's great, because now Alecki can just do its thing for free. It doesn't have to worry about anything. So that is phenomenal for me. So now Lycanroc's out. Obviously, I can't stay in. So I'm just gonna go out to my Pex, because that is my switch in. Take the rocks as he clicks Drill Run, and don't like that, because that did a bajillion damage. He's gonna take the Rocky Helmet at least, but yeah, not good. Obviously, fair prediction on his part, but just going off that damage, I'm pretty sure this thing was banded. Looking at the calcs, so I figured, all right, not great, but I could have gone on Enamorus and sacked it here because I knew it was banded. But that wouldn't, like, I kind of didn't want to sack Enamorus if I could avoid it, just in case I could get the spin off with Alecki later, get rid of the rocks. So instead, because I can't stay in obviously, because the Drill Run's going to kill me, but I decided to just go into, who do I go out into? It goes out to Grumpig, yes, because I was like, okay, probably have to sack someone here, which is fine. Not that worried about it. I figured that Grumpig's probably the most expendable, because I still have Heatran alive, so I was like, you can just go Grumpig. If he dies, that's fine. I just need a safe swap. As he actually decides to switch out himself, which is interesting. I don't know why. He didn't just click Drill Run again, because it was kind of free. Even if I went on Enamorus, like, it was gonna die to rocks anyway. So interesting play, but yeah, he just goes out to his Doxbun here, which I'm like, okay. Don't think you can really do anything to me, because he's got a weird set. He's got Yawn, Roar, and Play Rough, which is like, okay. I don't know how much Play Rough does, but I'm willing to try to get some chip on this thing if I can, so I just decide to stay in and click Power Gem, as he goes for Body Press, which, interesting move. Obviously take it pretty well. It is a crit though, but it still doesn't do that much because I resist. As I go for Power Gem, and it does not do that much at all, but it is still some chip, which is nice. If I can lower this thing's HP down, that's nice for me, especially because now I know his full moveset. He doesn't even have Wish, so he doesn't even have recovery besides his leftover. So I was like, okay, if I can chip this thing now, that's beautiful. Because then something else can pick up the kill later, hopefully. So yes, now this turn I decided to swap the Pex, because I was like, okay, should be pretty free here, right? Because you have Play Rough and Body Press. That's not going to do anything to Pex. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I just want to get Pex healthy again, because it was really low there. I still wanted it to be able to take hits from Lycanroc if it had to. So I was like, okay, I can bring it in, try to get some Regenerator going, or maybe a Recover. But even if it yawns or roars me out, that's fine, honestly, because I just need the Regenerator. So I think he does go for Yawn here, which is, again, that's fine. Can't stay in, but that's whatever. I can switch out, I can get more Regenerator. That's fine by me. So now I go, who do I go out into here? Back to Heatran, yes. Because I was at this point, I was like, okay, maybe on, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's skip ahead. Sorry, folks, that was my misclick there. Yes, so here we are back here again. So I do decide to go Heat Train here, kind of as like a sack, honestly, because I've thought about it. It's like, okay, on second thought, because I was like, I know one of these guys would be my sack if I needed to, because they kind of do the same thing. Because Heat Train like already got up rocks, and like Fortress is dead, so he can't spin it away. So that was like, okay, rocks are up, I don't have to worry about that. But besides that, they kind of do similar things as far as like what they wall, mainly the Armor Rouge. So I was like, okay, as long as I have one of these guys, should be fine. Like I said, at first I thought Grumpig was less valuable because it's a Grumpig, but after seeing his Doxplin set, I was like, okay, actually I think Grumpig is more useful because you could switch into that thing easier than Heat Train, because Heat Train doesn't want to take a body press. And again, they can both switch into Armor Rouge, and Grumpig can handle Bundle better if necessary because it can take a Hydro Pump. So I was like, okay, I think I can sack, bring out Heat Train here as a sack if I need to, it's fine. Not that I really thought Body Press was going to one-shot, but I was like, okay, I can just bring it out, Earth Power, get some chip maybe, and if it goes down, that's fine. I just need, like, the switches here, the free swaps. But he does decide to just go hard out to Lightning Rock, which is, I guess, fair. If I have Pex in, I was probably going to switch. Anywho, he does have Lightning Rock in, which is fine. I don't really care, because again, I'm okay with if Heat Train goes down at this point. So actually, I'm just gonna, instead of just like letting it go down right away, I'm just gonna click Protect just to see what it locks into. Because again, I'm pretty sure it's Choice Banded at this point. I think he decides to click Accelerock, which is interesting to me because again, I feel like Drill Run is just very free into my team at this point. Maybe he just wanted to click the Accelerock to be faster than Alecki guaranteed if I went out to that or something. Not sure, but at this point I'm like, well, he's locked into the Accelerock now, so he can't click Drill Run, so I think I could just stay in here and get the kill, right? So I can just go for Earth Power, so that's exactly what I do. Accelerock does a good amount, but not enough, and there's the Earth Power, it gets the kill on Lyca Rock, so that's sick. Didn't even have to lose my Heat Train there. But now the bundle's out, the big threat I was worried about. In it comes, and wouldn't you know, it does in fact have the booster energy, as I suspected it might. So very scary, but it's fine because we came prepared for this very situation. So again, I'm fine if Heat Train goes down here, so I decide to stay in, just like whatever happens happens, as long as I just need a safe swap to Alecki. It's all I really need. I can't bring it in hard because I don't want it to die on switch in, obviously, so I need to come in safely so I can just get the kill. So I leave Heat Train in here, or actually no, I protect this turn just to see what he wants to do, and also just get more Lefty's recovery, and also stall out a Hydro Pump again, which I figured could be useful if I needed to do that. So there's the protect, and now I just leave him in as he lives the Hydro Pump, which is insane. Spadev Heat Train holding it down, bro. I'm honestly shocked that he ate that. Crazy stuff. As now I can just click Lava Plume, and does a lot of damage to him because he does not have great special defense. That's phenomenal for me. Shout out to Heat Train, bro. I did not. He was holding it down. Absolutely ate that pump. Crazy. So now I'm gonna click Protect again. Just like screw it. Just get rid of another Hydro Pump PP. Cause why not? May as well, right? But now Heat Train is gonna go down this turn to another Hydro, as expected. But it's fine. He's done his job, and now can bring out Alecki and do what he was always made to do. Outspeed the booster energy bundle and get the kill with T-Bolt. Beautiful stuff. Love to see that. So now the threat is eliminated. Exactly what I want, and now the game's looking quite favorable for me, folks, as he does bring in the Armor Rouge, and it takes rocks damage, which is nice. However, I did the calcs, and even if it has no bulk investment at all, T-Bolt only has a chance to one-shot. There's a chance he lives, so I decide to not leave Alecki in here and just click T-Bolt again because I wanted some more chip. I figured Alecki could still be useful here, especially to spin again if I needed to at this point. So I decide not going to stay in because there's a chance I don't kill. So I'm just going to go right out to Grumpig because Grumpig is here to take hits from this thing as he goes for Armor Cannon and barely does anything because of the thick fat, which is sick. So now I can kind of just click Power Gem for free because obviously it's going to do a lot to Armor Rouge because he's weak and dropped his defenses. And if the the Doxbun comes out as it does, then I can get some more chip on that, which is a-okay by me. So at this point I'm like, okay, once Armarouge switches in again, it'll take more rocks damage and it'll be at half, at which point Alecki should be able to kill it with a T-Bolt, I think. So at this point, like, my end game is like, okay, I think I just go for the Alecki sweep, because like I could have tried to get rid of rocks for Namorous, and like that would have also worked, but at this point I figured I didn't really need to. I think Alecki just won regardless, so I was like, just chip this Fido down. Not the Fido, the Doxbun. Doxbun. I don't know why I keep mixing up the names. And yeah, and then Armarouge should be die to another one as well after rocks, so that was the game plan. So at this point, I'm just going to leave Grumpig in here just to get as much chip with Power Gem as possible. Try to keep this Doxbun low, because again, it doesn't have Wish or anything like that, so can't heal itself, so that's fine by me. Even if I'm not doing that much with Power Gem, I'm at least doing enough. I'm at the very least negating his leftovers and then some, so that's fine by me. I'll take that. So I'll just leave Grumpig in here to die to the play rough. That's fine, because now Lucky can come in and this should be the game. So I'm just going to click T-Bolt as he decides to go hard out to his Armarouge, which is interesting. I'm not totally sure why he made this play, because as you guys will see here, he actually lives the hit. So I'm pretty sure this thing was Assault Vest, because I don't know how else it took the hit that well. Because T-Bolt should have done a lot more than 40%. So I'm guessing he was Assault Vest. I don't know what else he could have been. But that was kind of a big misplay by him, I think, because he was Assault Vest. Obviously, he took the hit. So if he just let Doxbun die and then went out to this thing last, there's a chance he could have actually won this match. Could have brought it back around, because he would have lived the T-Bolt and then could have killed my Alecki with like Armor Cannon or something like that. And at that point, Namorous just dies to rocks, and if he has Psychic or something, that probably should get the kill on Pex. Maybe. I'm not totally sure what the role is, but yeah. So that would have been crazy if it went like that. But doesn't. He does decide to go hard out into it, which is alright then. T-Bolt doesn't get the kill there, but I can just click it again, and now it gets the kill. And out comes the Doxbun, takes the rocks damage, and another T-Bolt gets the kill, and that will be the game. So folks, that is round 1 of playoffs, and we did it. We overcame the Iron Bundle. Wasn't totally sure if I was going to do that, but yes. So with a 3-0 win, we advance to semifinals. Oh boy. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that match whenever it happens. And yeah, I've actually never, the furthest I've gotten in the PPFC is semifinals. I've actually never gotten to finals before. So will we do it this time? Let's see. Let's find out next time if we win our next match and advance forward. But until then, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, catch y'all in the next one. Take it easy.